During the 18th century, music played a large role across the globe, for the age was known as the Classical Era. Famous European composers such as Ludwig van Beethoven, Franz Schubert, Frédéric Chopin, and Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky were the most popular all across the Eastern Hemisphere. However, these composers were not as popular in North America as they were throughout Europe and Western Asia. During the 18th century, the patriots who resided in what is now the United States of America enjoyed and wrote music throughout this age. However, these songs were very different compared to the music written by Beethoven or Chopin. Some of the popular songs among the patriots during this time were Yankee Doodle, Drink to Me Only with Thine Eyes, and Free America. Even though these pieces of music were mere folk tunes, they were popular among the common patriot. It is safe to assume that when the early Puritan settlers traveled to North America, they only brought instruments that were easy to carry, such as guitars, lutes, fifes, snare drums, bugles, and many other small instruments. The piano, harpsichord, and many other large instruments used in an orchestra were not brought over due to lack of space. This explains why the music of the classical era never became popular in North America. However, all the patriots living in North America had family who emigrated from European countries, mainly Britain. There were many English settlers in North America, and most of the popular songs that were sung by patriots were based on old English folk songs that would be sung in taverns or at parties. The song Yankee Doodle was very popular among the 18th century patriots. Originally, Yankee Doodle was a discriminatory song that was sung by the King's Army during the American Revolution. Yankee was a racist term for patriots and colonists, and doodle was a derogatory term used for fool or a simpleton. This song became famous among the patriots when the colonist soldiers sang it to mock the redcoats. As the Yankees began to take their British in the Revolution, they also took over command of the song and began singing it as a proud anthem to taunt their English foes. During the Second War of Independence, the Patriots, who are now the Americans, found another popular song. By the end of the war in 1815, the most popular American song was The Star-Spangled Banner. This song, similar to Yankee Doodle, was based on an old British folk song. The original song was Anacreon in Heaven. During the Second War of Independence, this tune was popular, and many soldiers made up their own patriotic lyrics to the tune. The most popular and famous lyrics were written by an American known as Francis Scott Key in 1814. However, Francis Scott Key did not intend for these words to be lyrics, but his brother-in-law discovered how well they worked with the tune. When the sheet music was published in 1815, the name was changed to the Star-Spangled Banner. During the American Revolution and the Second War of Independence, the opposing parties both fought gentlemen's warfare. A common part of this style of warfare was to have a single group of snare drummers who play their music while the armies marched towards each other. This music was an important part of warfare, for it was used as an intimidation factor and psychological boosts for each army. These drummers were usually boys or men who were too young or too old or unable to fight. However, the drummers were highly regarded because they were often killed and did not have their own weapons. In conclusion, even though the classical era never became popular in American culture, this doesn't mean that European musical taste didn't reach America. However, the popular music in America were old European folk and tavern songs, which means that the American music trends were actually highly influenced by the European taste in music. The end.